in to Athletics LLC with Lamar, Lucius, Big League Chew, and my man Clyde, and the governor. You're about to be schooled in all things track and field. This is experience. Yes, sir. We are talking past, present, future. Y'all listen up. Let's go.
All right, y'all. I thought I had a clever intro, but the pre-show took it all. So I don't have one. Hi, welcome to Athletics LLC. Forgive us.
You okay?
Because then things start to replay in my head and they don't get out
Yes.
of my head. So
The pre-show, as Clyde would say, was dope.
The pre-show was the most shenanigan-laced filled tirade we've ever been on.
Yeah. So with that said, it is USA's week amongst other championships that are happening, but here domestically it is USA's week. So we are recording early so that we get it all in, hopefully uninterrupted. But it's another fun week in the 4th year of existence. Governor, apparently you have your hay fevers going loud and strong, loud and proud. How you doing tonight?
I am projecting. This is my projection forward from Thursday onwards. And,
right, exactly.
If I'm a little antisocial, you'll understand why. I'm literally just trying to stay alive for those 4 days. So
do I need to bring my nasal spray for you?
No. I got some. I think I'm loaded up for that. But boy, because we're not expecting any moisture whatsoever, right?
There was a splash of it, but I think it's off now.
Yeah.
No.
So
It's
just supposed to be terribly hot the next 2 days, and then starting Thursday, it's going to cool off. So.
Yes.
Yep.
It's going to be perfect.
Thank you, Clyde. I appreciate it.
Oh man. Clyde, how are you tonight?
Hey, I'm 4 days away from being able to walk into the cathedral. I've been waiting all year. I'm having a great week.
Oh man.
Everything else around here is nonsense. It's a great week otherwise.
I almost said a word out loud that I shouldn't say out loud.
Don't say it, you. Don't do it.
I know, it almost came out. Oh my gosh. Darkest before dawn, how are you tonight, sir?
I want to share with everyone that the lane lines on the track and field
Oh my gosh.
are
Disqualifying.
approximately they're in or around the range of 10 centimeters or so wide. Just for the record. Lanes are 1.22 meters wide as well. So there's plenty of room to navigate these things. Yep.
And it's all the same distance in between the white lines.
Yep. Sure is.
Oh, Sir Lucius, man.
Hey, how you doing?
I'll be so much better when I'm in the same town as you.
Yes, it's going to be fun. You guys get here when?
Wednesday.
I'll have Eugene nice and warmed up for you by the time you
Oh my gosh, I know, butt crack hot. Literally butt crack hot.
Speaking of which, people who are my age or so absolutely know that Eugene's current weather is definitely proof of global warming. It was never this hot. And I mean never this hot in Eugene, Oregon during my entire career. So let's do a little revisionist history. One of the things that even before the cathedral existed, one of the things that made Eugene such a great place to compete is the weather. Because it was never crazy hot. It was never crazy cold. It was always very good, right? I know Clyde is popping his chest. I tried to tell y'all, but yeah. The cathedral has nothing to do with it. It's Eugene.
Right.
89, 95, 96, 87, 82, and 81.
My world championship cup.
USA.
Drinking from my cup.
Oof. Anyhow. So there's the thing. It's called the show. We have topics. Let's go ahead and do those. Speaking of USA's, we are going to predict the 200 meter this time, both men and women. Wow. That excited for it, huh?
All that is
Men or women? Men or women? Which
Let's
one's going
go
first?
men first. Let's go men first.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do this and get it out of the way. I'm going super homer on this one. Obviously, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Lyles is not running it. Because I happen to have not one, but two dogs in the fight, I'm putting my two dogs on the team. Mr. Knight and Mr. Gregory. And I think the third person is going to be Mr. Curley.
Mr.
Curley.
Okay.
Can I go next?
Sure.
Because I want to be petty before Charles is petty. Since there has been a mystery event switch from the 200 to the 100 for the defending 400 champion, scared, say you're scared. I too am going to pick Gator, Curly, Gator on the team with Mr. Lyles.
So Mikey scratched the 200?
He's still in.
He's still in the 200.
He's still in it. He's still in it.
Oh, but you don't think he's going to show up?
No.
I get you now. Okay.
Wait, are you?
I just wanted some clarity. That's all.
Are you giving your theory or are you giving facts?
Well, I don't think there's much more of a theory than a dog being needed.
Big League, you brought that on yourself.
I know.
Listen, I'm going to say this for everybody who's watching the show. Understand this. This doesn't happen very often for me, but tonight I choose violence. So.
What you got, Governor?
Yep.
Let's mind you all, this is the first cup we're seeing of season 4. So we'll just go ahead and revisit that one.
So I'm saying Knighton for the win, Bednarek second, Curly third.
Oh.
So I would like to follow the EP down his rabbit hole for a second.
I don't think you need help.
I would just like to say that it's very odd.
It's not odd.
It's very odd. I would have a better word for it, but it doesn't actually fit in this moment.
It's not quite caucastic, but it is indeed.
Okay.
It is indeed.
It is indeed privileged.
Privileged.
It is privileged because I was told in writing that in order to be a part of the USA Championships, you had to run a qualifying mark, enter, and then declare. So
when legal.
So for me to be scrolling down the men's 100 meters, of which I have no dog in the fight, I'm just a fan, and I am a fan of Michael Norman. I would love to know how Brendan Stewart from the University of Southern California entered himself at 10:20, was not qualified and not accepted, but Michael Norman Jr. entered himself with no time and is accepted and declared. It's very confusing.
I'm sorry.
It's very confusing.
If he was entered at no time and accepted, I would actually get that because he could be wildcarded.
But he is.
He is.
No, listen to me. If that's how he was entered. But unfortunately for us people, we saw the entries originally and he was entered at 10:02 windy.
Okay,
That's true.
So let me try to unmurk the murky waters, right? So he wasn't at a 10:02 windy. You can't enter a 1:08 mark. So therefore it becomes a no time. He can be entered into the event because he has a wild card entry into another event. So the rules has always been that you need to show fitness. But the governor shared a rule with us the other day, says you don't have to run at all. Right? So because you don't have to run at all, and because he's a defending champion, he can pick whatever. He can run the mile 1,500 if he wants to.
Absolutely.
All right.
So therefore, the no time and the accepted entry in the 100 because he's got street cred for being the defending champion in the 400.
And listen, I wish I had never seen the original entry because I had no issue with the no time and him being accepted. I had no issue with it because I know the rule because it's happened in the decathlon before. It was the fact that he was originally entered at 10:02 windy that I had all of the problems with.
And remember now, that entry at one point it said not qualified, not accepted. He didn't become accepted until he put a no time down.
So it's all very strange.
Yeah.
But we are aware of the rule and these things happen. But anyway, the question was about the 200 meters. I will absolutely be taking Mr. Knighton, who has very quietly, very succinctly had a monster season thus far. It's really, really interesting because last year, what was the big headline? He had run 19.4 at LSU and everybody was fixated on that particular mark. There hasn't been any 19.4s, but the season is dramatically better and his consistency has been off the charts. He has systematically been wiping Mr. Bolt off the books around the world in various levels. So yeah, I will be taking Mr. Knighton for the win in the 200. Assuming Fred steps out there, I don't see two people beating Fred, so I will take Fred for the 2. And then, God, I really hope as a fan that Mr. Norman is ready to run. I can't pick him because I have eyes. So
that part.
So you know what? I'm going Robert Gregory.
I was say give it to Big Rob.
I'm going Big Rob.
No, he's Little Rob. Big, yeah.
Oh yeah,
He's Robert Jr.
He's Junior.
His dad's about 4 inches taller than him, so yes.
He is.
Touche.
Yeah.
And I know his father. Touche. Yes. I'm going Baby Rob. Slide in there and make his presence known.
I may just cry when that happens. I'm not even gonna lie.
I just want to say this for the record, for those of you who love to start drama, please run tell Mikey about how we're all hating about Mikey, because what y'all will find out immediately is that Clyde and myself literally may be like bandwagon members number 1A and 1C on the Michael Norman bandwagon. So just understand, this is not Michael Norman hate.
No.
This is Michael Norman love. We want to see the real unadulterated version of Michael Norman, because when it happens,
let us all be clear. Homer or no Homer, if I thought Michael Norman was ready, I'm picking
right.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going into the meet. I got some work to do this week, in Eugene with the youngins and the U20 crew. But the senior meet, I'm just a fan. And I promise you, every time Mike steps on the track, I'm going to be looking at like, is it okay? Like, I don't want to feel like that. I'm in the stands like, y'all about to get this work from Mr. Norman.
Right.
So I hope all is well. Yeah. I'm rooting for him.
Because we all love Michael Norman. And, I think it's pretty public that I think that he's with JS now.
Yes.
And so I think the issue there is, has JS had enough time?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, because that's a slow cooked brisket with JS.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
he's never in a hurry. I can promise you now, I'm gonna run into John in the warm period. He ain't ready yet. But a year from now, You know, like we talked about this last year. We said this, Toulouse a problem in a year. And is she a problem?
I mean, literally, we said this a year ago.
Yeah, on the show, we said Toulouse a problem.
She's going to be a problem. She is a problem.
And she is a whole problem.
I will never forget at Mount Sac last year when I'm watching, I'm like, Toulouse with, 2023. Here we go.
Yep. And now have that same moment about Michael Norman, because I don't think there's anybody, especially on these tiles, that doesn't consider him maybe to be the best overall sprint talent in this country. From the 1 to the 4, he may be the best guy. Not, no doubt about it. Yeah.
I mean, with all deference to Mr. Curley, but yes. I mean, like, I don't disagree with you, but like, you know,
we'll see. It's
a small class
right now. He's better than Curley at 2 and 4.
Yes.
So that makes him the better all around guy.
Wow. Well, speaking of Miss Toulouse, because I was able to watch that race, or her most recent race this weekend. Track is back.
Well, women's 200.
To the women.
Oh shit! Shoot.
Oh yeah,
Chew.
Now we got
You have to stop. We have to stop taking these journeys to that planet. We've had this discussion, baby girl.
Listen,
stay on the planet Earth with us.
We've unpacked to the world Cuss and Mouse. Now y'all know Cuss and Chew exists.
Man.
So here's what you have to hope for. One day you have Coach Cussing Mouth and Cussing Chew at the same time.
Woo! You know what?
We're gonna figure out a way to make that happen.
We're not far from, in the times we're in right now, we're not far from that happening.
It's coming, right? It's coming.
I mean, it might happen this week. It might happen this week.
You know what? I've committed. I'm going to be really good this week. I'm not going to let anybody push my buttons.
I'm trying. I'm very much, yes.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Look at the light skin said no.
Said no. The first time one of the officials or somebody does it just happened. Right?
Yeah. All right. Anyway,
I mean, the unfortunate part is I can't. I don't know. I'm not even sure I can get to Eugene at 0. Like, I think I'm gonna be on 1 before I ever get there.
Yeah, it seems that way right now.
Yes. All right, women's 200. My apologies. So what's funny is I still have it pulled up with that intention. I went right over it.
Who wants to go first on this one?
I will go first. I will go first. And you know, like, I think for all of us, some of us get paid a whole lot more money than others to watch athletes compete and do their thing, and you know, watch bodies move. And
is it what we're doing right now?
Hey, can I finish my comment, please? And
okay.
I have I have seen something this year that is very, 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 very like it's one of those things where you're sitting there and you're watching the TV and you're going, anyone else see what I just saw? And for that reason only, I might be crazy, but I feel like Sha'Carri Richardson is going to do something absolutely insane.
Yep.
At these championships. I feel like, you know, and whatever it is, whatever is going on in her life or whatever is not going on, what I saw her do earlier this season, holy moly. So
can't get it out of your head.
So I'm saying that it's Richardson, I'm saying Gabby, and I'm saying Steiner for 3rd.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I don't think there's a world where that is not possible, because it is possible.
Mm-hmm.
And because I get paid a lot more money than everybody else on the tiles to watch people.
I mean, again, hold on. Let me get out my light. No lies detected.
None at all. None at all.
unnecessary comment detected. But anyway.
Oh, God.
So what I will say is this, is that I too was incredibly impressed with that run by Miss Sha'Carri. I do believe that if she does toe the line and if she is focused, I think she's going to do something absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
You know, Eugene, Oregon has been noted for, producing wow moments, as we call them. And I think Sha'Carri is loading up for one of those. We all know Dennis Mitchell pretty well, and I think Dennis has a chip on his shoulder and is determined to show the world who the real Sha'Carri is.
Yes.
So if she toes the line, there's no doubt in my mind she's a winner. I'm not so quick to relegate Abby to third. Again, because of the level of pay that I receive to watch people move.
The evaluation says.
Yeah, my very high priced evaluation says that I think Abby's is moving better and running better than she was a year ago. And so I also believe that if Sha'Carri makes a misstep, Abby will be the one to grab her by it and say, "Hey, not so fast, my friend."
Okay.
So I'm gonna go Sha'Carri, Abby, Gabby. That's mine.
Okay.
My very high priced opinion.
Well,
go for it.
Oh no, by all means, go ahead.
I'll give my dual sport opinion. Clearly nowhere near as well priced, but at least multi-vantage pointed. When you watch people run for a long time, you see stuff and you're like, yep, that's different. If Sha'Carri toes the line to run, they can't beat her. No. That's where we're going to go with that. So I'm going to say, and focused. You are correct with that other word, and focused. Like having the desire to make said team.
Yep.
I'm going to say that Sha'Carri is going to win. I am absolutely going to say that Abby Steiner is going to get second.
Okay.
Now, where it gets interesting is here, because I definitely think that Gabby. Hear me out. Gabby is similar, not anywhere near as decorated yet as Papa Podium. Gabby seems to be ready at the end. She's not a U.S. championships type person. I will do what I got to do to make the team, but I'll be ready at World. I'll be ready at the Olympics. So I'm going to say that Gabby is going to get third in a lean over Miss Prandini, because she is the only Bobby product that has not shown a difference yet this year. Everybody else that has moved out to Bobby has looked different this year. And we all know Bobby to know that's not going to be okay.
Okay,
so she's going to look different.
Can I play Clyde for a second?
No, don't do it. I'm about no.
So I picked the same three.
May I play Clyde?
I picked the same order.
Let Clyde play Clyde.
Okay, because I just thought maybe I'd be a little sarcastic for a second.
Oh boy.
Go
ahead, Clyde.
I think you're a little bronze for that.
Man, well, that's why I have to play Clyde for a second.
I see. Oh, yes, I like that.
Well played.
Go ahead, Clyde. No,
well
go ahead, Clyde. I'm going to be good. I'm just going to sit here and let you be Clyde. Go ahead.
No, Mr. Lucius.
Yeah, go ahead.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Isn't it Mr. Sir Lucius?
Sir Lucius.
Sir Lucius.
Okay. You can't take away the sir. He's been knighted.
Right. Most people.
Arion knighted.
Sure.
Oh my God.
Most people, if you poll them, would tell you that Allison Felix is the greatest 200-meter runner that we've had. Some people would say that it's FloJo. But correct me if I'm wrong, Gabby Thomas at the U.S. Championships has the number 2-time all time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
I don't understand.
2160 something?
Yes. So I don't understand the idea that Gabby is not necessarily a U.S. championship type runner, because her best form has been at this meet.
Yes.
Gabby
Her best time was at this meet. Her best form was at the Olympics.
Based on what, sir?
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
Wasn't she third at said Olympic Games?
Still think she looked better.
Oh, so it was a fashion show.
Yep.
The 21.6 would have looked better with a higher medal. I know that much. But anyway, so I say all that to say, you know, Miss Thomas had a rough year last year. She may have her own chip on her shoulder, and with the rise and conversation of justifiably Abby Steiner and the 4-year now hype of everybody waiting for Sha'Carri to be what we all know she's technically physically capable of being, I feel like if you look at the entries, you will notice that it is only Miss Thomas who has decided to scratch the 100. Mm-hmm. So Gabby and Tanja have put all their proverbial eggs into the 200-meter basket. And I can't imagine them doing that if they didn't believe that Gabby is ready to roll and do something spectacular in her own right. So I'm going to lean in with the people that I have seen do this on time when it matters, and hope for the rest. So I will take Gabby Thomas for the win. I will take Abby for the 2. And for me, the Bobby Kersey with Jenna Prandini angle is very, very interesting, because I believe Jenna remains the best turn runner in that group and always finds a way to show up when it matters. I agree with the EP that I think she is ready to go. But to me, it's Sha'Carri that has to prove she can do this at this stage, because it ain't been done yet. Jenna's made these teams. So I'm going to take Sha'Carri for the 3rd. But, you know, Jenna's going to be in the mix, because she just is.
Mm-hmm.
She just is.
All right.
We shall see come race days to see how it transpires. Oh, I had another one. I'm gonna keep that internal. I'll say it later.
We're about to get cussing big league again.
Oh man.
Man, this heat index is really getting to me out here. Oof. Oof. So, okay, now we'll go to Track is Back.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna break it down Ricky, pro meet style.
Wow. Karsten Warholm, anybody?
Yeah.
Wow. Avoiding the protesters.
Yes.
First of all,
we're just gonna slide. We're gonna slide past that bad DJing.
Oh.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
Purposely slide past that.
The entire Stockholm meet was shenanigans.
Yeah,
shenanigans across the board.
Wait, so do we know what they were protesting yet?
No.
Global warming.
Global warming.
Wait, are you being serious, or are you just making that up?
That's what I've heard. I don't know this to be true. That's
what do you can't protest global warming.
It's not hot.
Sir, I'm just giving you what I've heard, sir.
Okay, so I am going to respectfully ask you to never repeat that again.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
There are some things that you hear that you should never repeat. That would be one.
Who is protesting in lane 2 through 6 in a track?
Listen, I will say this about the protesters. I don't really care what they were protesting. Like there's so many, to borrow one of our guests, pandas that should be passed out on the protest issue. First of all, security, panda, because not only did they make it onto the track, they made it into almost every lane, and they had a whole fake finish line tape, and y'all was just standing there waiting.
Just good with it.
So security, you get an F. Secondly, to the athletes, you all get Fs. If there was ever a moment, Carson already blew you out. No one was going to fault you. Why did you not just run through the protesters and knock them over?
I mean, absolutely blasted.
Because they would have been DQ'd for running out of lane. That's
Nobody care if you get DQ'd if you was going to be fifth. Blast that dude into next week.
All them dudes who got blasted by Carson Warholm, that was your one and only opportunity to go viral in the world. You should have ran over all them people, every lane, stepped on all of them. Okay? All of them. Like, it was crazy. The official is out there with the discus, trying to risk it all.
I saw that.
Listen, if you can't see, get somebody else, because you don't need to be that close to the landing of the disc.
He was definitely trying to risk it all.
Okay?
Oh, gosh.
So, and then, I don't know. I think it's the calendar. Stockholm being consistently close to all the championship weekends. The meet is mostly lame, but I got 30 plus minutes of uninterrupted Mondo time.
Mm-hmm.
Mondo holds this whole sport in his hand anytime he wants.
Yep. Well, I mean, I think we pretty much talked about Stockholm. That was pretty much it.
What's else going on?
Warholm, Mondo, and we're done.
Well, Warholm with the 46.5, the meet before.
Yes,
that's where Warholm comes in.
Yes,
and then I think also you just can't name just one. There's
47 at Stockholm,
right? And there's been a plethora of great distance and middle distance performances. We could go on all day about those. And so, again, back to using my high priced eyes. I think people better pay attention that Miss Toby Abusan is starting to trend towards the 12-2 girl again.
Yes.
I mean, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So
my eyes don't lie to me.
So you go back to Lausanne, which this is the time of the year, and I always remembered thinking leading up to the USA Championships, it was almost like there were these two meets that were snuck in there that none of the US athletes, or very few of them, were able to get over there because it was such a quick turnaround. I mean, I don't think there were much more than 5 athletes that were actually in Stockholm, if any. And then, but in Lausanne, I mean, the thing that stuck out to me was Miss Talu running 10:88 in that weather, because it was cold. It was in the 60s. But the race that really just, I was so impressed by was Miss Mora beating Hodgkinson in the 800.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. The way that she did it, yeah.
The way that she did that, oh my gosh. So Miss Hodgkinson, if you set the table, opens up her season with 155, right? Yep. Sets the world on fire. Everybody's like, oh, here we go. And with 200 meters to go, you could just see Hodgkinson going, okay, it's my time. She makes a move. Mara said, you're going to stay right where you're at. And I'm going to put this 400 speed on you. Oh my gosh, what a race. And you'd love to, those are the things that, like, again, when you have a high priced eyes, you know what I'm saying? You pick those things out,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And here's something else that the high price eyes has noticed. Simca Bowl is up to something, folks.
Yes, she is.
And there's no world where you're ever going to get me to sit here or anyplace else and say that she's going to get to Sydney if Sydney runs the 400 hurdles. But boy, Sid better be on top of her game.
So did we notice that she alternated all the way to 8?
Yeah.
She alternated all the way to 8. And it wasn't easy because you could see like right at the 8, she had to really stretch to get there.
See, and nobody will ever accuse the Europeans of not studying the sport and of not understanding what is required to do the right things, right?
Yep.
And so they obviously are rehearsing for something, right?
Absolutely.
Right. And it's only like, I don't believe that Femke can get to the world record that Sid set either, but she's the only one with a legitimate shot because of her size, because of her speed. She's the only other one that can run that pattern.
Yeah.
So, you know, props to her for seeing it, much like Dos Santos did with after Warholm. He's like, okay, I can't run his race and beat him, so now I need a new race.
Yeah.
And let's go do that. Sid blew the old profile, the old blueprint, if you will, blew that one out the water. And now Femke is attempting to chase it, and props to her. Just, you know, 50.5 is, yeah.
Fantastic women's pole vault, by the way. Katie Moon setting the world lead, 482. But the actual meet was unbelievable. Those young ladies were jumping like they're in shape. They are getting ready to do some stuff this year. So
kind of a spin-off of that, and kind of going back to the U.S. Championships. And I apologize for kind of hijacking this a little bit, but what are we expecting out of the men's and women's long jump at our trials? Because we got to talk about the women's long jump because of the verbal.
Yes.
You know what?
Social media battle that's been kind of going on that will ultimately come to fruition, I think, the end of the week here.
Look, okay, I'll say this about the women's long jump. I don't care about any of that if the winner isn't jumping 7 meters. I don't care. If all
my question to you is that fair?
Yes, it is fair.
Okay,
all of this nonsense. If all this nonsense culminates in a U.S. champion jumping 688 or something, I'm so bored.
But that's ridiculous. And the reason I'm gonna say that's ridiculous is like, listen, they've done everything they did at the cathedral has been absolutely spectacular, except
yes,
the jump venue. And if you look at the results, I am not speaking fuckery. Like the only thing that has been not good in the new venue is the horizontal jumps results, runway, board, all of it.
Man,
that's back to last year's World Championships. Last year's World Championships, the men's long jump was won at what? 830 something?
One of the worst long jumps ever.
May I offer an explanation?
Sure, it sounds great.
And someone please, if I'm wrong about this, I want to be called out on the internet. Correct me if I'm wrong. They never changed the locations of the horizontal jump pits with the renovation. So
it has nothing to do with it's not the location.
It has nothing to do with the location.
It's the setup of the boards.
Yes.
Okay. So either it's the setup of the boards, yes, but it's also, for me, there was always a very interesting and funny playing wind that helped in the old stadium, which is no longer existence.
It ain't the wind.
It ain't the
board
wind.
set. No, listen, you can hear it when they take off. The board setup is bad. There's too much air between the board and the tray. And at the end of the day, there's too much give, and you're not getting the return that you get in many other places. And this is not a complicated fix, but it ain't my job and it ain't my venue. And I'm never going to complain about the cathedral. But for you to base whether they're worthy solely on the results numbers is insane. They both jumped over 7 meters this year. Yes. So let's not be disrespectful.
Not for real.
Oh, okay. God. So anyway, I'm gonna move on.
She jumped over 7 meters somewhere overseas. So she did.
Yes.
I
Q may have. Q may
No,
have.
Little Mama did it too.
Yeah,
Little
she
one did it
did.
too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They
Tara
both
did it
jumped
too.
over 7 meters.
Yeah.
But it's okay. You know, we'll let you keep telling it.
See,
I
I
wanna
want to
give-
say this.
Don't
and-
act
and
like
my-
you ain't seen the video of the
but
official
hold on a
blocking
second.
the
Yeah,
wind
because,
gauge. in
yeah,
our-
that
Of
was
course
a
I
different
did.
deal. See, all I'm
That's
gonna
a
say is
different
this,
deal.
right? So at some point in time, we have to have a respect for what we're seeing and stop trying to compare it to revisionist history, especially when we happen to share a dwelling with revisionist history. Stop it. Stop
Wait a
it.
minute. What does that have to do with
Yes,
anything?
you know exactly what that is. So all I'm saying to you is this, is that, look, we have a tremendous respect for the from the past jumpers from the US, right?
Mhm.
But we're never going to get back there if we don't have situations like this where we have, because those women jumped far because they had to jump far.
Mhm.
So in order for these women to have to jump far, they have to start creating a competitive situation. And that's what I'm excited to watch, regardless of what the distance is. And I think they're all going to jump far, be honest with you.
Same.
But I just want to see the two of them joined by Jasmine, joined by whoever else, come down and have a competition where
Yes.
they're getting after each other.
I
where
want to
there's a
see
constant changing.
haymakers after
Exactly.
haymakers after
That's what I'm
haymakers.
looking forward
That's what
to.
you want to
And
see.
so, and if the event's won at 695, we'll deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
We will. We will.
That's kind of my point, though. Like, okay, the two protagonists in this issue, right? Tara and Q. That's what everybody's coming to see, right? But I'm sorry, if you made me put money on it, if I was allowed to put money on it, if you're talking about people throwing haymakers in the competition, I'll take Jasmine Moore and the freshman from Stanford to do that before one of those two.
Are you serious?
No.
I mean, listen.
Is the freshman from Stanford jumping in the meet?
She is.
Okay.
She is.
Okay.
Well,
I will tell you
interesting.
I will tell you this. Tara Davis absolutely will throw haymakers.
Yep.
And Miss Big Q, as I call her, happens to train in Gainesville now. Oh, and we're throwing haymakers, my friend.
Nice.
Trust me.
Hey,
Trust
you
me.
know,
Hey,
if I have to pick, I'm Team Q. You
right.
know I'm
well,
right.
I just want to say two things. One, the fact that we have just spent the last 15 minutes talking about the women's long jump tells you that they have been successful.
Yep.
Right? So let's start.
So can we move on to the men's now? How
I was going to say, and secondly, look, unfortunately, the women's long jump far is superior to the men's long jump right now, because right now I got Dendy and the Pips.
Oh, I'm gonna say, who else is jumping? Is Harrison gonna jump? Because
he's in it. He's in it.
Okay.
I don't know if he's still in it, but he was. I mean, you've got the phenom that was Cameron Crump,
Mm-hmm.
who was phenomenal indoors, phenomenal at times outdoors, and not so phenomenal lately. You got the young man from, I think, Florida State, who hit one big jump this year. And you guys, a couple of you guys know this. Like, Dendy's going to be talking trash. Right? He's going to come down and jump 830 and start talking trash right away.
But I feel like he's going to be talking to himself.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, who's he talking to?
I feel like it's Dendy and the Pips. And listen, I don't mean disrespect to them. I hope they all jump far. I was a long jumper first. But listen, look, you have to jump far when it matters. If you want long jump street cred in the long jump community, you have to jump far when it matters. So show up, show out, and we will tell the world that the men's long jump is back in the United States.
Now, you know what?
I don't want to jump off. I don't want to jump off of the other meets before I say this.
But wait,
Noah Lyles. Let me finish this. Noah Lyles is doing an incredible job as ambassador for track and field.
Mm-hmm.
He's making things that we never thought mattered matter, right? Like, who cares how track athletes show up to a track meet? I'm going to say no one, until Noah Lyles decided to make this relevant.
Yep.
And the first time I saw it, I was like, are you serious right now? Like, who cares? But then I realized when he shows up, there's a whole bunch of people there. And a lot of them are kids, which I think is really important. And so I want to give the young man props for like being a good ambassador. He's not the only one. I'm not saying he's the only, but he is doing a good job of being a good ambassador for the sport and then showing up to meet and run fast, right? Because there's also people who will, you know, run their mouths and talk about their entrance and then show up and not do much. So I just want to give Noah Lyles a little bit of a shout out. And I'm looking forward to the next time Noah Lyles and Ariane Knighton race personally. I that's good theater.
Now, sir, that was very well said, and I appreciate it. But damn it, hold on, because you know when I'm not speaking on here, I watch y'all. Y'all are my people. Darkest Before the Dawn just said something that I find very interesting. When he just went on his tangent about the men's long jump, and he said, you have to jump far when it matters. Big League nodded her head. The long jump extraordinaire that is the governor nodded his head. Sir Lucius, with that face right there, nodded in agreement. So we all agree with that sentiment, right? But I don't get to hold the women to the same standard?
Of course you do. But I think all of us expect them to do so.
No. I said, I put a number out there, AKA you got to jump far when it matters, which certain people in this conversation are famous for not doing. And y'all said I was being unfair.
You put a number out there. That's like me saying the men's long jump is trash unless somebody jumps 853.
Yes.
That's wrong.
That's where you're wrong, Clyde.
853 for the men is not equivalent to 7 meters for the women.
So at championships, okay
845.
I think it's
that's about right.
Yes, it is.
And today, look, 7 meters and 845.
Yes.
This is off my dome, but I'll bet you if you check the all-time list, there's a similar number of women that have jumped 7 meters and a similar number of men that have jumped 845.
Yes.
I'm telling you, those two things they're pretty comparable.
The list thins down very much when you get past 720. It goes
but
way down.
The big thing here is like we need to stop putting down upon these ladies because they don't jump as far as people did in the past.
Yeah.
That's my thing. And I don't recall myself shaking my head. Maybe I moved.
No, I said you nodded in agreement.
Right. So, but at the end of the day, like for me, when it comes to the men's long jump, I was probably nodding my head in agreement with like who's going to jump far besides Dick, right? Because I don't know. But the other part of this is that like for me with the men's long jump, this is not about trying to decide if the men's long jump is back in the U.S. This is about, okay, who the heck's going to make this team?
So
if we make the team, exactly. And then who's going to show up?
Yeah.
And then possibly put us back on the map.
Yeah.
30 something days later. Right.
But Sir Lucius, in all seriousness, is that not the exact same dynamic that we're talking about here with the women? Because here's the thing. You take Tiana out of it, whatever. When in the last generation of women long jumpers, not only did they make the team, they went in there and got medals. So which of these women that are going to make the team are going to go in there and challenge for the medal?
That's a different conversation than we were having. But now if we're having that conversation, because this conversation started about the excitement these two have created, and now we're here. Now we get to watch the battle. Right. Your reply or retort to that was that if they didn't jump far, you didn't care.
Right. Because I'm not interested in Tara versus Q for the U.S. Championships if no one's going to go challenge for the medals. I'm bored.
Okay, but that's not what you said. So therefore that's the way it came off. The way it came off was if they don't jump far, who gives two craps about it, right? I mean, so all I'm saying to you is this, okay? So let's give them a chance. Let's see what happens. Let's hope we don't get a return to the Dan and Dave situation. Because we don't want that. No, because clearly, like the EP said, we spent quite a bit of time talking about this. So therefore, they've brought some relevance to the women's jump.
Yeah.
Right. So let's see what happens. You know.
Now, as far as the men are concerned, when I look at Dendy, McCarter, Lawson, Tinch, and Harrison, you're talking about, in my opinion, 5 of the most talented jumpers that the U.S. has right now, period. In terms of
so I want to push the pause button for a second. Give me those names again.
Dendy, McCarter, Jarian Lawson, Cordell Tinch, and Javon Harrison.
Okay, so now let's let the old guy with the eyes pick this apart a little bit. Okay.
So
okay, so you know, I'm gonna reserve judgment on Dendy because that's my guy. I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay.
Right.
McCarter is a guy that needs to show more consistency.
Yes.
Right. Javon Harrison hasn't jumped far in a year and a half. Jarian Lawson hasn't jumped far in like 4 years.
Yep.
Okay? And Mr. Tinch has not jumped far if it wasn't when dated.
So I'm not saying that that's what they're going to do. I am saying from a talent perspective, from what I've seen, I mean, the US still has a wealth of talent in that event. Now, whether or not they've figured stuff out and they understand what it means at this level.
Okay, so
that still remains.
I'm gonna interrupt you for 1 second. I'm gonna say what you wanted to say, but because you're the governor, you won't say things like this. Whether or not they've been coached well enough to jump far is what you want to say. Okay. But since you're the governor, you won't say that. You know.
All right.
Look, you're my guy, and I just put that out there for you. So you know.
Big league.
And don't get me wrong. So I'm not trying to badmouth any of those guys because I really believe, as you said, that group of 5 guys is as talented a group we've had in a long time.
Absolutely.
Right? And so I think what we have to see now is like kind of like what the EP talked about, which 3 of them are going to show up because clearly Jarian Lawson's not afraid of anybody. Never has been.
Right.
Clearly, Javon's not afraid of anybody. Denny's not afraid of anybody.
No.
Now, the question for Mr. Tinch is he's never been in a competition when he's had that many good people around him.
Exactly. Yes.
And now if that inspires him, we can see something crazy, right? Because that dude is super talented now. He's super talented. Yeah. Yep.
Well, and so I just want to highlight this if you didn't hear it the way that it was meant to be, not meant to be said, but also heard. It's not that we're saying that Cordell Tinch can't show up at a place and because he's D2, he's not good. Like, don't read into all those extra words that you just heard and put in yourself.
And so let me say this again. Let me say this for Big League because I don't need people talking for me. Okay. I am not bad mouthing Cordell Tinch because he's racing Grant in the hurdles. Okay. All right. This is my opinion based on years of what I've seen with these high-priced eyes, as the governor said. Right. Okay. This is
you need
a different
to get insurance
deal
on your eyeballs.
Yeah, I do. It's a different deal when you line up with 4 or 5 other good guys. And I'm not saying that he can't respond because clearly he's talented enough and he can. But the question is, will he?
Yeah.
And I think there's nobody on these tiles that expect him to you know, they wouldn't love to see him do it, right? Yeah. Exactly. You know, but we all know also it's a different deal.
Yep.
When you're down on the runway and you got Darkest Before the Dawns going before you and the governor going behind you and they're both sneakering and talking trash to you, it's a little different deal.
It's a little different.
There's a very big
different dynamic, yeah.
But between lining up for a race you're supposed to blow out and lining up for a race where all 8 dudes can win.
Yeah.
Yep. Right.
It's a different situation.
Right.
So
these are factoids.
Not that we're blowing off anything else that happened and we're not highlighting, it's just time to move on at this point. But great conversation nonetheless. Let's talk about the coaching carousel.
Kudos to Tim Hall.
So
new head coach at the University of South Carolina.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Somebody put like a $10 bill in the carousel.
And only because I can't remember his name, but we have to say because we've talked about the job prior to this. The gentleman from Bradley who just got the New Mexico job. Sorry. I know. Don't kill me. Kudos. Good job. I'll find it, but I know it. I know where it is.
In the
So we did
Google?
talk about the fact that Joe Frank was in Louisville. We talked about that last week, right?
We did.
Darren Dawson.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome,
So
welcome to the Mountain West. Welcome to the Mountain West.
yes, a lot of good jobs still out there. It's going to be interesting to watch the carousel. It looks like the carousel shall be spinning well into the fall, like it always is. So,
I mean,
It
can
always
we
is.
talk about the fact like there are at least 5 major sprint jobs that have to be filled, and how that is going to affect
So
everything going
we
forward?
got Louisville,
Mm-hmm.
we got Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina.
South
South
Carolina.
Carolina.
Somebody
Yep.
to assist Tim at South Carolina. Who else
Yep.
you got? Oh, USC.
USC.
UCLA.
UCLA.
Whoa.
UCLA, yes. That
Didn't know
job
about
has
that.
not been filled.
Yeah, it's the same
Wow.
job.
Yep.
And also there's a job at Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
I'm not sure if that's sprints or
The
middle
the
distance long
Mallard,
sprints.
the
but-
Milton Mallard seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, okay. So I know we're all talking about this and we talked about it, but per a voice that was told to me this week, he's still on the website.
Okay,
I'm gonna look
so
right now. I'm just saying. I'm just
we
saying.
don't go on the websites. There's a job at Texas A&M. Leave it at that.
Okay.
Leave it at that.
Everybody heard it. 'Cause I said the same
on the
thing.
flip side of that, if you do go on websites, you may learn that there's a job open at Concordia University, Irvine.
Oh gosh.
Wait, and then Amber has to. I'm gonna go ahead and go off. Amber has to fill her staff too. Amber has to fill her staff. Look, I'm going. Just move right over that.
Clyde.
He said websites.
Amber has to
Clyde.
fill her staff at her new position,
Oh
Stop
man.
it.
which leaves an opening at Columbia.
Boy.
And then I'm trying really hard. And then we know
Thank
that
you, Jim. Thank you, Big
that
Man. Thank you.
Katrina Broomfield, who's now got a new last name because she just got married, she's exiting Oakland University. She's not announcing where she's going yet.
Yeah, by the way, that's whack. That situation.
Which part? Katrina.
And also,
Yes.
we're talking about job openings. There's a sprint job open in Georgia
Mm.
and a
Yes.
distance job open in Georgia.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes. You know
Another?
this.
Yes.
Just think you know this. Just
Devin
think.
West left.
Yes.
Sure. But Kareem
Sprint
went.
job.
But
Oh, I
Kareem-
forgot Kareem. Okay, Kareem
Yes.
is there now.
Yeah,
My bad.
yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot
I'll
about
say,
that.
wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a
Okay.
minute. What
My bad.
happened?
Okay, I forgot about that. Okay, so I'm sorry. Kareem is there, but there's a distance job open in Georgia.
This,
Yeah.
and there's a distance.
Well,
Oh, never mind.
I mean, there's still a throws job and a jump job open at TCU.
Yes.
Just saying. And
You know
here's
what I
the funny
mean?
part.
Governor.
Here's the funny part. We've talked about all of these jobs, right? We haven't talked about the fact that there is the ability for every school we just named to hire up to 6 more people. Nobody's going to hire 6. We all agree, right?
Yes.
Let's call it 2 because 2 seems to be the congruent number
The
across
schools that can and
but the
will
schools
do
that
it. Yes.
can
Yes.
still have the ability to hire 2
So wait.
more.
Wait a minute. Can we pause there for a second? Do we really let's just stick in the Power 5? What percentage of Power 5 programs do we believe are going to take this new rule and add 2 additional people to their staffs? I don't
What
see it.
percentage of Power 5? 72%.
Mhm.
Really?
Yes.
You think that's going to happen?
Yes.
Or Power
I
5.
know
Power
5 off the top of my head for sure.
Yes.
All right.
Like, you know what I
I
mean? Like,
would
I know
say
for
the
sure
max-
that's going to happen.
And from what I'm
Okay,
hearing,
so of the 14 schools in our league, I believe that at least 11 or 12, like 10 to 12 of them have already said they're adding at least 2 people.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, everybody got jobs open.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I mean, everybody.
Oh man.
Congratulations to Bridget Owens
Yep.
Yes.
for
University of
her
Illinois. Yeah.
move to University of Illinois. So that leaves a sprint job
UTEP.
open at
At
UTEP.
UTEP, correct?
Let's play connect the dots. Who's got that on their bingo card?
And shout out to Bridget, being a Gator grad, Gator great. So
Army West Point
she's back in
still has
orange
their
and blue,
jumps.
just the wrong orange and blue now, but that's okay.
Army West Point.
Army West Point has a job. Corpus Christi has a job.
Corpus Christi, the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
The head job.
Oh, so there's 6 jobs.
Right.
Cool.
I just feel if you look at trends from previous years, USA weekend, a lot of dust, at least in the early openings, settles within like a week or so after USA's for whatever reason. But those settlings will open up all kind of new doors.
So here's a couple more
action.
openings. There's a women's distance job at Texas, and the throws job at the University of Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
that's
forgot
right.
about that one. I did
Yeah.
know that.
Yep.
I did know that. There is a job opening at the University of North Carolina.
Yeah, the women's distance / cross country assistant. He resigned. Nothing bad happened. I believe that he's just being noble and giving his significant other support in her as she pursues her career. So kudos to Dylan Sorensen. Yeah.
And that's why I said it the way I said it, because I don't think it's going to be a women's distance job. I'll just leave that there. They have
a head coach that's pretty good at coaching distance runners. So if he didn't hire somebody, and North Carolina, they're probably part of that 72% that will hire another position as well. So
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
6 distance coaches.
Wow.
As only Clyde can say. So
hey, do what you got to do.
Right.
Gotta get on top.
I guess the point to this is, like, listen, folks, I don't want anybody to think that we do the coaching carousel for a lot of reasons. The main ones is that it's informative for, I think, a great number of people who don't know that their jobs are open. But I think it's also for people to understand that, like, you don't get to sit in a job that is unfulfilling for you or not necessarily where you want to be and then complain. There are lots and lots and lots of jobs open. But you have to make yourself A, a viable candidate, B, get off your butt and figure out what it takes to be a viable candidate to multiple places, and C, I don't know, be professional, do something at the convention other than playing Clyde and Chris's spades tournament.
Hey, shout out to all who participated in the tournaments. I promise you learned something from losing that will make you a better candidate for these jobs.
That is true. That's true. And there are great conversations to be had.
Man, that's effective networking right there. Right there. And as always, I'm sure there's a job or two that we missed that we're just not informed of. So don't yell at us. Just help us promote it and communicate it, because we all want everyone to have a job they enjoy in a place they desire to be at.
Put them in the comments. Open jobs.
Right.
Portland State head coach.
Oh yeah.
Again?
Yes, reopened.
Yeah. I actually saw
Wait
that
a
in my
minute.
little.
We got to give a shout out to my man Fred Princeton. He retired, so there's a head coach job at Princeton open.
Right.
Yeah.
And in theory, a staff. In theory.
Yeah. They've got some other pretty good coaches here, so I'm gonna hope they keep them because they've been doing a phenomenal job here.
Yes. Very much
they
so.
weren't as good this year, but in 2022, those cats got it done.
Hey, everybody, I'll tell you this. Don't sleep on the Ivies. If you like a career, Ivies is a phenomenal place to be.
Princeton Jump's job at Georgetown, by the way. That position is open.
There's a lot of stuff out there, folks. A lot of stuff out there, folks. And at the end of the day, I really want people to understand. Don't just play musical chairs. Right? Like be better, go after better, and seek to raise your level when you do. You have not arrived when you become an assistant at a Power 5. You have not
No.
arrived when you become a head coach, wherever it is that you become. You like, it's a stone that you need to jump from to up to the next stone and be better.
And not even jump on or over or through, but to turn over.
Yeah, just be better.
Through
Like,
and through.
do an exercise. Ask yourself and two people whose opinions will be honest if you were better this year than last.
Who knows? I don't.
It's real commentary.
All right. Well, being that we are entering, some have departed, some will be departing sooner than later, to Eugene for USA's. What are each of you looking forward to most this coming week at USA's?
Well,
Women's
honestly,
long jump.
not at all. Not first.
I couldn't help that one. I'm sorry.
It was too easy. I understand. Honestly, the entire USA meet, like I said, I'm get to sit back and be a fan of, which is pretty cool. But I'm actually looking most forward to. I think it's one of the things that USA Track and Field gets right in the off years. We have 7 young people who are contesting the junior meet, and you look at the entries. That's a pretty high number. They've been here, they've been grinding, and trust me, getting a bunch of under 20-year-olds to focus for multiple weeks past whenever their seasons have ended has been a task. But I'm proud of where they are and excited to watch them go out there and do what they do. So that's what I'm most looking forward to when I'm going to Eugene. But the senior meet's going to be phenomenal.
Well, if anything, you can just remind them that this, in terms of, okay, this is what you want,
right?
In terms of your career,
right?
This is the lonely side of track and field. This is what happens when you've separated yourself from the herd. Okay, you're here, and now you have to lock in, and the monk-like mentality. Chop wood, carry water, that sort of thing. This is what it is. And how many kids are actually equipped to deal with it at that young of age? I mean, they are to be commended. I mean, it's not easy to do.
No, definitely not.
Well, I think that what I'm looking forward to is just the excitement of people making teams. I'm looking forward to some upsets. I'm looking forward to some, people's predictions and prognostications being blown to pieces, because there's always somebody that shows up here and just wrecks everybody's, form chart, right? And I'm just looking forward to that. If I have to pick an event I really want to watch the women's 100 hurdles. I think it's going to be super exciting. And I think for me, the men's 100, for some reason, just, I don't know, like, I just think that's going to be a lot more exciting than people expect it to be. Let's put it that way.
Because
for me, I'm looking forward to the sheer unpredictability of this weekend. I think there's probably no event more than the 400, the men's 400, where, I mean, we're going to see either young kids come of age or some of the old dogs in the fight that still have some fight left in them. And, because, we've seen it happen in years past, but it is quite feasible we could have an all collegiate top 3. That is very possible. So, if things fall the way they do, I mean, we're talking about a whole new era of men's 400 in this country. So I'm excited to see that.
See, and the funny thing about the men's 400, remember it was just 2 years ago we had 2 collegians on the team, and neither one of them at the meet this year.
It's crazy,
Right.
And the third collegian of that bunch has been hurt a bit this year, so it's a complete change of the guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love USA's because it's, again, I really do wish I could hand out popsicle sticks. I just want somebody make that happen, make that my job, because I would be so good at it. But I'm looking forward to 2 things equally. I'm looking forward to watching Sid run the 400. I'm looking forward to watching Fred run the 200 and not the 100. I'm looking forward to those things because I think if there's an event that we all are like waiting to see what he can really do, it's probably the 2, right? That's the only event we would say, based on the other things he's done, that Fred has quote unquote underachieved, which is so scary to say. But I'm looking forward to, like, you don't have to run the 100 first.
Right.
Right. I mean, this is a rarity for him. So I'm looking forward to that because it should be awesome. And yeah. Sit in the 400. Yeah. Pop popcorn, sit on couch and watch.
Sit in the bleachers and watch.
I mean, I'm saying for others, I will clearly be there.
Unsolicited, I'm looking forward. So this is my first U20 championship. And so I'll get to, I have a dog in the fight. I'll be able to observe, witness, and remember what it's like for her to compete. And it's the first of the emotional roller coaster that I'll be on. So I'm excited for the experience for her and myself. So super fun.
Let me tell you this about the U20s. Expect some college freshmen to have what many will consider to be an out-of-body experience, because kind of like we talked about with the men's long jump and some of the players there, when you spent your whole year getting beat down by people that were just better than you, and now you show up here and it's like, hey, I'm better than most of these people. Special things happen.
Just on a psychological standpoint, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I want to see.
Yeah.
More than once.
Right.
So I heard somebody describe the junior meet one time as being in the 8th grade. Right? Like you're king of the school. Right? It's your last opportunity, right? Just before you go to the big school and get slapped around. It's your last opportunity to be king of the school.
Oh, listen, don't think that all of mine haven't been getting the "you better go bully these kids" speech.
That's what I said too.
That's the combo.
Oh, definitely.
Speaking of, like, what is bowling's mindset going into this meet? I mean,
what event is he doing?
Kareem, how's your family?
Quarter? Huh?
Your family good?
Everybody's
oh God. Oh my God. That was classic.
Everybody good?
If you want a succinct answer to that question, pondering his options.
I mean, wow. It's all like, what events is he doing? I stopped.
He entered in the 400.
See what you did?
Only?
I know. We were clearly past that.
Only?
Oh, well, mixed relay.
He's not entering the 2?
No, God.
Yes, he is. He is.
I was like, no, he got to be in something else. I think Clyde is right. I think we're shooting for a mixed relay spot.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
First of all, you cannot speak. Nobody can speak to that man's mindset. And so before I'm made to be a meme, before somebody tries to put words in my mouth or tell me what these well-paid eyes see, okay, I would like to go on the record that I want people to let Matthew Bowling come to the meet and just run and be Matthew Bowling. Don't place expectations upon him. Don't expect anything from him. And let's see what happens.
Oh, okay. So you want us to live in La La Land?
Oh my
No, I
gosh.
do not. I just
Just
want
let the-
everybody to quit putting undue pressure on this young man. I want
Let
everybody
the
to quit
ball roll.
expecting him to do incredible things. Okay, so Matthew Bowling can't win, right? If he wins a race, he's the great white hope, right? He's the next great white whatever.
Who's gonna
If
say
he
it?
doesn't do, what's
gonna say
wrong with him, right? Right. So my thing is this is like, why do I can't tell you what Matthew Bowling's mindset is, right? Like no more. I couldn't tell you Matthew Bowling's girlfriend's name, his parents' names. I know nothing about Matthew Bowling other than Matthew Bowling is an incredible, nice young man who the media and others have put undue pressure on that young man. And the governor, you did not help it tonight.
I mean,
shame on
his
you.
his
Clyde's
mindset.
Clyde's about to get started. I see it.
Let's just be honest.
Here comes
His
Clyde now.
mindset. If he's normal, right, would be like any other person at the precipice of a professional career. Like this is a decision making meet for him, right? Like this meet may decide like whether he does or doesn't go back to school. I think that's normal.
Blame Texas. This is a Texas problem.
Oh boy.
Created by Texans.
I feel like Matthew Bowling's been in school
Governor,
forever.
when I see you on Thursday,
punch.
when I see you on
Punch
Thursday,
to the
I'll
throat.
punch you right in the neck.
Sir
Right in
Lucius,
the neck, right here in the
where's
side.
The
right there.
where's the governor right now?
Texas.
Huh? I'm in
Texas.
Texas, yes.
He's in Texas.
All Texas.
Oh man.
All right. I heard would you rather.
I'm just a firm believer that we should go to would you rather right now.
I said I heard would you rather coming. That's what I heard in the background.
Is it Clyde on would you rather tonight?
It is.
It is.
It sure
Yes,
is.
it is. Let's go, baby.
All right.
Best segment of the month. Let's go.
All right. I really tried this time.
Oh, geez. Well, that's good because you mailed it in the last 3 times. So,
I mean,
that's a
it's been
fact.
tough in these streets. Been tough. All right. Are you ready?
Of course.
Okay. Would you rather shoot an arrow blindfolded or throw an axe blindfolded?
It ain't gonna end bad for me either way. So I'll throw the axe.
It's more entertainment. Would you rather live in a downtown condo, so like in those uppity high rises, or on a large lot of land?
Oh no, condo. I'm a city boy. I like city problems. I don't garden.
Apparently.
I don't yard work. None of that. No.
How very. There you go.
Sarcastic. Incredibly.
Would you rather play in a celebrity softball game or a celebrity hoops game?
Oh, Jesus.
I
I would rather be there to film either.
First of all, I would be brilliant in either. I feel like in my years, there have been more. There have been more people that I would care to look at the celebrity softball game. So I'm gonna roll with that.
Okay. Would you rather use, and I'm not even sure that you do these, would you rather use sriracha or Frank's Red Hot?
Frank's.
Got
Put
it.
that shit on everything.
God damn it. Would you rather, and RIP to sriracha, it's in a shortage right now for the second year in a row. Would you rather sunburn on your feet, on the tops of your feet, or sunburn on your shoulders?
I go through about 9 colors every year, every cycle. I do not enjoy sunburning of any sort. But I will say, as a person who rarely ever has his feet out in public, the one time I did, the feet sunburn was way worse.
It is. It is. All right, last one from me. Would you rather be a study hall monitor or do bed checks?
I don't do bed checks. I don't do bed checks. Nothing good in any realm can come from bed checks.
Mine are angelic. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, listen. It's like, don't ask questions you don't want the answers to.
Mhm.
No, do bet checks.
Anyhow, the tiles, the questions are yours.
Okay, so would you rather, let me get this right. Would you rather be in charge of the resurrection of the men's long jump in the US or the development of future great heptathletes in the US?
Heptathletes, because I don't see the former being a winnable fight.
Man. Wow.
Yeah, I think the former is a much winnable fight, a much easier fight to win. Not even close.
No, I actually agree with you. I just wanted to be petty.
Okay.
Because of the
so
two other tiles.
Because
we're gonna play. We're gonna play petty. So okay. You have your choice of task to save your own life.
Oh my gosh.
My life.
Yes.
Okay.
You have 1 year to coach either the U.S. women's team or the Jamaican women's team to break the world record in the women's 400.
Why?
Or you have 1 year to coach all of the women's long jumpers, and you're only going to be graded if 2 of them win medals.
I don't want nothing to do with the women's long jump. I would very easily and succeed at the first task with either group.
This show has officially become the going grocery shopping on an empty stomach type situation. We
Yes.
walk into this with
Yes.
with our minds. Oh my gosh. I love it.
The funny thing is, he thought that was going to be a difficult choice for me.
Oh man! Wow!
No, I just wanted to hear you talk.
I will say this because of the debate that's raging for however long. The American women are much closer to breaking that world record than the Jamaicans will ever get.
Ever? Ever. Wow. Just disrespectful.
Wow.
No, it's not about nationality. It's not about that.
That's disrespectful. The word ever is a long time.
That's a long time. Okay.
And since you opened that can of worms, like you must go look closely at the very strong group of young sprinters that exist in Jamaica right now. Before you say
they are phenomenal.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Right. I'm sorry. I should have kept my mouth shut. What the hell was I thinking?
Miss Reed and the crew are stunningly talented. Big fans.
All right, who's that? Next question.
All right. You have your pick of Big Ten schools to take to the promised land. Which one are you taking?
One of the LA schools.
No.
See,
No, they're not there yet. We're talking about right now.
Oh, you mean like authentic Big Ten?
We're talking about the current Big Ten.
Yes, the Midwest version. You sure did.
I mean, he walked right into that. That was an easy call. God, who's in the Big Ten? Do they run?
Gosh.
Did you say do they run?
You know what?
So disrespectful.
Listen, the black side of my family are from Ohio. I'm roll with Ohio State, the Ohio State.
So Lucius, which one you taking? You taking Ohio State?
Pardon me?
You would take Ohio State as well?
On the Big Ten?
Yes.
Okay, what was the question again?
You have your pick of Big Ten schools to take to the promised land. Which one are you taking?
And you can't pick the new Big Ten. It's got to be traditional Big Ten.
Okay, so my question is, like in their current state, meaning supporting everything,
Right
or
now, yes.
or I'm walking into a situation where I'm going to get the support that I'm accustomed to.
All right, I will humor you. You're going to get the support no matter which one you take.
Lord.
The support you want. Which one?
Maryland.
I was like, that's an easy
wow.
question.
You read.
Not even close.
Goodness.
Sir,
not even
Maryland,
close.
and it's not even close.
So we are not okay.
That would have
Say
been
less.
yes.
Say
No
less.
one's
not
picking,
what?
No one's picking Michigan. You're right. No one.
What did
Maryland,
you expect me to pick, Governor?
No, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Maryland. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely. Yes,
100%.
Now, but see, the governor, you did me wrong there because you didn't offer me unlimited bags of support.
Oh my goodness!
Because Maryland would have been my number 2, but I'm assuming in their current state.
Yeah. Okay. Because those are two completely different questions. I get it.
Yes.
You're right.
All right.
But no one
Listen,
picked.
I'll listen. I'll be completely honest. If you tell me I got 18 and 12.6 and no support, I'll still take Maryland over every other friggin' school in the Big Ten.
No, you won't.
Because it's warm.
No, you won't.
Oh man!
Because it's warm.
You're not going to go any place and be terrible. Stop lying to yourself.
I'm not going to be terrible. You already know that.
If you go into those situations, you're going to be terrible.
The only job in the Big Ten I would not take under any circumstances, I am not moving to Piscataway, New Jersey, and I am not coaching at Rutgers.
LA is Big Ten country.
Oh boy!
I cannot.
True, please rescue us.
I know.
Oh my!
All right,
Go
heartbeat
Camels!
props.
Let's go.
Heartbeat props. Let's say good ups to somebody, some peoples that need to hear it.
You're asking a lot of me tonight, Chu.
I know.
I'll go. Heartbeat props to all of the background, underground, smaller marketed media companies that do a much better job of following, promoting, and entertaining the track and field masses than apparently NBC and USA Track and Field are willing to do. That decision is a bunch of nonsense. And, I don't understand. So to Sidious Mag and, all the companies, Flow Tracks and, your independent film crews and all of that, the people that do a much better job at the storytelling. We do appreciate y'all efforts, and we'll see you outside the stadium like you've been banned for, shenanigans in life. So we'll see y'all out on the outskirts.
I want to give heartbeat props to the compliance departments and the academic services and admissions at all universities that have any gumption to win in this current situation that we're in. Let's call it what it is. There is no summer anymore. And, the mere fact that we are reacting to the last window, and how that moves into July and even August. I can only foresee more turnaround in those professions, because it is, I think the work just got twice as hard, in my opinion. And there's going to be more pressure to get these kids in and locked in, ready for the first week of school. And it also seems to be coincided with the way schools seem to be opening earlier now. So it's, there are all of these things that are all happening at once. Heartbeat props to you guys, and please stick around.
Please. My heartbeat props go out to so USA's TF staffs were just announced publicly this week. Yours truly in the darkest will be on a staff. But it's cool. It's cool, for all of us to be a part of these young people's lives, whether they're associated to us prior to these trips or not. But it's cool for us as professionals to also be exposed to this international travel, other athletes other than the ones that we coach at the institutions or whatever associations you're with currently. And it's going to be a fun time. So cool. Good job.
Yeah.
Way to fill out your applications.
I want to kind of spin off of something that the governor just said. I want to give some heartbeat props out to, you know, the folks that just lost jobs, the folks that, you know, are going through the trials and tribulations of, you know, not knowing what the next step is, not knowing how they're going to take care of their family. I don't think people understand the volatility that exists in collegiate athletics right now. While everybody viewed the transfer portal as this wonderful thing, and as I sit here, I will say it before somebody else does, the portal has been very good to the Gators. I'd make no bones about that. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of good coaches out there that can't hold on to their athletes. There's a lot of good programs that, you know, have just become the breeding ground of the minor leagues, to coin a Camel's phrase, that you know, for bigger schools, and there's nothing to be done about it. And I think that, you know, so my heart blue pipes go out to those people out there that are doing a great job that nobody's paying attention to, that are losing their jobs because they're in a situation where they can't afford to keep people. So between NIL and the transfer portal, it's going to be some very interesting decisions made over the next 5 to 10 years when it comes to collegiate athletics. So not just track and field, but athletics as a whole.
Man, tough in those streets on so many different boulevards. So many.
I'll be honest, I didn't have a heartbeat props, but I do now. And I've been inspired, and I think it's a good one. My heartbeat props go out to all of the young men and women who, as we sit here on July 3rd, have 10 days to get in the portal, who may not even know that that's a thing that they're going to have to do. And I say that because in the next 10 days, there are going to be coaches who choose to take other jobs. There are going to be coaches that lose their jobs. And you were just trying to enjoy your summer, and then somebody calls you or texts you and tells you that your coach is no longer your coach. And now you have to make a life decision in the next 10 days. And as someone who deals with a great number of those people, I can tell you the portal is very much, you know, like the cell phone. It's probably one of man's greatest and worst inventions simultaneously. And my heartbeat props for sure go out to the young people who are getting, unfortunately, what the masses wanted, which is the freedom to move, you know, without penalty. But with freedom comes, you know, choice and obligation and responsibility. So I wish that none of you have turmoil in your life over the next 10 days. I just know that will fall upon deaf ears. So I wish the very best to those of you who get your lives a little rattled in the next 10 days. And don't be afraid. Look yourself in the mirror, make tough choices, and it will all work itself out.
Track and field portal window is closed already. So
Look at that baseball brain.
Hey, I got to do my job, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's a big part of your life.
Yes. So with that said, if anyone watching knows us, and there are a lot of you who have watched us for all 4 years and really do know us per these tiles, you're laughing really hard and your stomach hurts, your cheeks are tired, and you literally are like, oh my gosh, And then if you really know us, like outside of these tiles, you're sitting there like, what in the holy is going on with them right now? But it's that time of year. It's July, and we don't even know how we've gotten to July at this point.
Yeah.
But it's fun, and it's what we love to do, and this is why we do it inside and outside of Zoom. So
y'all don't know how I'm gonna make it out of July.
Oof.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. So with that said, thank you so much. It was fun. It is always fun. I will get this show up in a more timely manner. I promise. Conway, is that his name? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll do better. I'm trying really hard, I promise. But with that said, everyone have a great week. Safe travels to wherever you might be going this week. Have a safe 4th. And other than that, love you guys. See you soon. Bye.
When the lights come on, the road just get to running. When the lights come on, opponents smash the plumbing. Heard you like it warm, hot, knife the butter. Truth pin them hard, knock them off that rebuttal. Tsunami, tidal wave to your puddle. Tough love, punch you in the arms, little brothers. Athletics LLC, there's no others. Track and field's place to appeal to go further. Hey, Wile E. Coyote, it's road runners. Feels like you know us, you've been with us the whole summer. If not for this quarantine, these 4 corners wouldn't be here, but we here, so start learning. You gotta earn your stripes, gotta get your scars. Show you how to fight, but show us who you are. You lack experience, but still you wanna talk. And who is actually talking to you? Circle's kinda small. Heads prevail when the backbone's strong. Gotta keep it coming, no, it won't last long. Pass or fail, then sell the sad song. And if you don't check yourself, then that's wrong. Just trying to give you the real that you asked for. So why you keep cutting us off to ask more? We put it in slow-mo, but you fast forward. Athletics LLC, the task force.